okay? Because you're talking about everything you have energetically and physically and mentally and emotionally all aligned going forward at 100%. It's going to blow your wad after 20 seconds. We can't sustain it. That's why you don't see guys just chasing each other around the ring. As human beings, we can't sustain that. So maybe around 5-10 seconds. But what you want to do is get an interval timer where the rest period, and the rest period can be as long as you want. It could be 5 minutes, okay? Because we don't know the opportunity when it presents itself. And I'll go back to the analogy of a street fight. If I'm moving around at long range, right, and I flick this guy's eye, it doesn't quite work. I pot shot him there. It doesn't quite work. And on the next shot, I knee him in the groin, and I see it reacts. I have to go then. I'm waiting. But that whole scenario might take 2 minutes to happen. So I have to be patient because I don't want to be in the kitchen with this guy when he's swinging. So I want to be on long range. I want to inflict damage, but I don't want to go in. So I have to be patient. So this side of things, I have to maintain that cool head and the wide focus, the observance for as long as it needs to be. But when I go in, this hopefully won't take any time at all. Hopefully I'll just grab that, take him out, one shot, boom, he's done. Hopefully that's what happens. If I have to chase this guy with intensity and he's starting to get away from me, I have to go back. So it teaches you patience. So when we have the Tabata rounds, right, you can pick your interval, your rest interval as just lightly jumping rope like this or moving on your feet, right? Anyone can do that. So it's still a workout. When the timer goes off for your intensity, you need to emotionally, physically, and with your breath and your focus, do everything that I went over. So if it's push-ups, put this symbol on the ground. That's your concentration point. That's the only thing that exists in your focus. And you, with your feeling, need to put all of your willpower into that. And then jump back up when the timer gets in. You move around. And this has to be squared away. And then when the timer goes off again, boom, you're there. Everything. This is the only thing that exists in your mind for that interval. That's how you train it. And you get a hell of a workout with it, too. It sucks. It really does, because you don't know. It's ideal if you get the timer set so that you don't know when the interval's in. Don't set it up yourself. Just have somebody randomly set. And there's plenty of apps for it. Unfortunately, I don't know what app I have. We do it just out of sparring. Okay? And that's one of the best ways, because when somebody's trying to take your head off and you have to remain calm, and you're actually getting hit, and even when you get hit, you're talking about observing where that pain goes through your body, you know, and still keeping a calm head and reacting to the other person. You know, that's where it's at. But we don't want to get hit. I spar all the time. I don't like getting hit. Right? That's for Steve. That's Steve's job. Steve likes to get hit. He ran away. Oh, he's right there. Fuck. So that is it as far as what we're talking about. How much time do we have? Anybody? Okay, 10 minutes. So let's have some Q&A, and then we'll have some T&A, right? Okay. Yeah.
Hi. First off, really cool speech. This goes a lot with it's stuff I've read. But I'm someone who, just growing up, I was just emotionally desensitized to a lot of things, just to like let stuff roll over and not like worry about it. Like I played football and I played linebacker. It was really hard for me to get in that like killer instinct that you were talking about, which my linebacker coach talked about all the time. What would you suggest to try and tap into this for someone like me who has that past?
Well, I would suggest you probably need a coach. You probably need somebody who's can calibrate to your emotions to see when they come out, okay? And me as a coach, I have a couple guys. I work a lot with people who have it's very similar to PTSD. And so your emotions you don't want to let them out because you're afraid of what's going to happen, or it brings back the abuse again, right? It triggers all that, so we keep it aside. So remember, the trick is to oscillate between the extremes. Okay, and so if you're stuck here, and are you a sensitive guy? Like, can you feel emotions? You're like, do you ever cry at movies?
No.
No. See, I can. I can't. No, but that's it. So you're kind of stuck in the middle, right? So we need to oscillate, and it's okay. We want to be able to cry at movies. We want to get in touch with your feminine side, and we want to be able to express ourselves and our anger, right? So for me to just give you an exercise, this will help start to move that a little bit, okay? Even if you're just hallucinating that you're mad and that you have killer instinct, we'll start to move it a little bit. But force yourself to go through the physical part of this. And pretend at getting the feelings, and that will start to move things. Me as a coach, like when I have a guy who's physically, he's a monster, and he's had some PTSD in his life, and so it's not that he doesn't have emotions. He's actually a compassionate guy. But what happens is when he gets here, he stops, because I know he's afraid that he's gonna kill somebody and won't have that control. Okay, so what I have to do as a trainer is elicit those emotions out of him without him actually snapping, and then borrow that moment of when they come out and have him tune it back down. I need to get him mad, so I see it in his face, and he's like this, and then I say, okay, now breathe, because he has to get comfortable with it, and he has to know he has control, because that's the fear. You know, your fear may be that you're afraid this is going to re-trigger whatever, you know, from your past. And so you don't want to go there. It's just something that didn't serve you in the past. You know, whatever it is, I don't know. But simply doing the exercise and trying to conjure the feelings will start to move you a bit. But it's not, you know, this isn't a fix-all for everyone, just this physical part. This is a very deep subject that has many implications that took me years to, you know, and luckily I was exposed to the culmination of this, of guys actually using this in life and death situations. But it brought me out of my shell. And so it's not, this is something to help you in the limited time we have, but this is the starting point for you. Okay?
For myself personally, I've always struggled with my killer instinct, actually just fear of it. Like I used to be bossed around with my best mate and nearly killed him when I snapped. Mm-hmm. So it's always been an issue that I want to tackle. I've sort of been able to experience it in football. In Australia, we don't wear the gear. It's just tackle, and I love that. Now I've done like a bit of boxing, but like if I'm with a female partner, I'm scaring the shit out of it. I'm looking at a martial art to do. I think, would you suggest that would be the best way for me to sort of like tackle into it, experience it, and then be okay with being
anything you're going to spar with. So here's the thing, like, you, for example, on Fridays, I have a ritual of wrestling with my chiropractor. Yeah, some racket that guy has, right? He used to wrestle, where do you wrestle? Nebraska or Omaha, something. He's like 265, and he used to be 300 pounds. The guy's strong. He's a brown belt. I'm a black belt. It doesn't mean shit, right, with this guy. So on Fridays, he wrestles all the time. He's very good. We go. So